Now, more than R500 million is being reprioritized for emergency housing following April's deadly floods in KwaZulu-Natal. Although the provincial government says this money will be recouped, the DA insists the move is unfair to others who have been waiting for housing for many, many years. eNCA senior reporter Jason Thatia tells us more.
The KwaZulu-Natal provincial government recently announced plans to house those victims that were affected by the April floods. But there have also been concerns raised about those people that have already been waiting for housing in the province. There is a huge backlog that exists in KwaZulu-Natal. Recently, the Democratic Alliance raised this very question.
The housing crisis will now be further deepened because almost 516 million rands has been reprioritized away from 119 projects. This funding will be used for the delivery of temporary housing units for those that were left homeless after the April floods. Now, we are concerned because there is already a housing backlog in KZN here of 742,000 houses that needed to be built, or rather needs to be built for the people. Now with putting these 119 projects on hold, it simply means that people will have to wait longer in order to get into a house.
I'm now joined by the MEC for Human Settlements, Jomo Sapir. MEC, let's start with the issue raised by the DA around, I think, 119, they say, projects that have stalled, about R500 million that has been reprioritized. So the question is then, what happens to people that have been waiting for housing even before the floods came?
Yes, we did reprioritize 500 million when the floods started because we couldn't wait for the national government to give us the entire money or wait for the money from the national government for flood victims. As the provincial government, we were given a mandate to reprioritize and start building temporary units, but also giving people material and all those things because people needed to be housed by then, and even now they still need to be housed. We couldn't wait for months or whatever. Then we did that reprioritization. Out of reprioritization, we didn't stop any project. We took from different grants that we are having, but not necessarily that there is a project that we said, no, we are stopping this particular project.
Thank you very much for your time, MEC. That was the MEC for Human Settlements. They are talking about progress on where exactly they are in relocating those flood victims. Initially, there will be 8 sites that will be worked on, and those will be where those temporary residential units will be put up to ensure that those flood victims will be able to move out of community halls and into those units. I'm Jason Thatia in Durban.